The guy behind class is what I meant. Snork's here.
Snork. So, speaking of censorship,
what a great segue we have.
I know everything's just fitting together like we planned it or something, and we did it.
Have you heard?
We just got to do this. This is just how it goes.
There's a lot of censorship news. It is what it is. Unfortunately.
So,
because it's an agenda.
This happened. So the Daily Wire comes out with this article, and I'm like, what? So this is October 8th, 2022. And PayPal reverses its plan to fine users $2,500 for misinformation after Daily Wire report. What? Yeah.
But they said it was because of Twitter and people being mad or whatever on the mass media, other sources. Like they were like, oh yeah, they saw the hate, the backlash online, and then they were like, reverse course. We didn't mean it. It didn't happen.
Yeah. So what originally happened is the Daily Wire came out. This isn't the article. I thought I had the original one. This is the updated version of the article. So this is like the after effect. But the Daily Wire came out because PayPal released its terms of service, where they said that they could fine users up to $2,500, sanction them if they didn't like the information they were giving on their own platform. They said if it was misinformation. So this is afterwards. I don't know if you guys heard about this. This is freaking nuts. I can't believe this.
Like an hour later, after a good amount of pushback.
Yeah, like it was immediate. Yeah. People were not fucking having it. Mm-hmm. Right. So I haven't read this article. I thought this was the other one that I just like bookmarked and pulled up before the show. So this is the follow-up one, but this should cover all of it. Let's see what it says. So a red feet, huh?
Sorry, I just want to say there should be a link in there, hopefully still, for the PayPal page where you can look at the policy yourself, like, and make sure what they're saying.
Yeah, of course they can. Remember.
Oh, here's the original.
Love PayPal, everybody. They're fantastic.
I found the original.
And the people at YouTube as well.
I found the original article. So hang on. I'm going to bring you to the original first.
Awesome. Yeah, and that has the link to the PayPal policy, and then you can look through.
Yeah. I'm like, wait a minute here. Let me go backwards. Let's rewind. Rewind just a little.
Does anybody really read the user agreement? You should.
Sadly, I had to get like rent through PayPal, but then they kept taking fees out of my roommate's account, so it pissed me off because he had to pay me and PayPal on top of it, even though he had friends and family as a choice, but they don't let him use it anymore for some reason on their stupid website. They let me do it, but they don't let him.
Okay.
Rude.
That's insane. That's absolutely like you live in the same freaking place. Like what the fuck?
You just he's giving me money for rent, like, and then I have to get an invoice and shit. Like, come on.
Oh my gosh.
This is not a service. But they don't let you change it. They won't let me change it anymore either. That's another policy they have where they got rid of the send money to family or friends with no fees. Now they put fees on every fucking thing, so they get some money back.
Yep.
It's disgusting. Fuck you, PayPal. Said it.
It's awful. It's really awful. And this was like a huge red flag for people. So this was October 7th, 2022. So new PayPal policy lets company pull the $2,500 from users' accounts if they promote misinformation. I was like, wait, what? When I saw this come out, I was like, are you kidding me? Like, what the hell is happening here? Can't be true. I'm like, is this a parody? Like, I really like it went through my mind of like, whoa, they're either saying the quiet part out loud or this is a parody. Is this real? Like, I had to investigate. And
will it say what it was in the changes area where it says changes? That should take you to the page. But are they going to have like the cleaned up page and be like, oh, nothing happened here? I'd like to see if they have it still, or if they're like, oops, you can't go there anymore.
Yeah, we'll
like,
have to
go to changes right there.
Yep.
Right below.
Yep. Yep.
That should take you to the page, and we'll see if they cleaned it up or not.
Yeah, I'm just going to read this part right here. So a new policy update from PayPal will permit the firm to sanction users. There we go. There's that. That's what I was talking about. Who advance purported misinformation or present risks to user well-being with fines up to $2,500 per offense. Who gets to decide that? PayPal gets to decide whether or not we're fucking. So yeah. So the financial services company, which has repeatedly deplatformed organizations and individual commentators for their political views, which will expand its existing lists of prohibited activities. On November 3rd, among the changes are prohibitions. I'm saying that right? On the
sending, yeah.
On the sending, posting, or publication of any messages, content, or materials that promote misinformation or present a risk to user safety or well-being. Users are also barred from the promotion of hate, violence, radical, or other forms of intolerance that
racial.
is discriminatory. Oh, racial. Yeah.
So let's see what they did to this page.
This is a PDF.
Exactly. That's why I want to see if it exists still. I bookmarked it, but I don't know if it's.
I don't see anything here. There's nothing here.
That makes sense because they would erase it and they'd be like, "It didn't happen."
Oh, let me show you guys. There's nothing there. Let me add that to the screen because it's a different window.
Because they do try to just erase mistakes that they make.
But yeah, so this is it. This is what I was looking at. This is their PDF right here. It's
empty. Oops. But it was an oopsie.
Nothing.
That's not the final version.
Nothing to see here. That's
totally
literally.
They literally hold it.
So
but
yeah,
it does exist, guys. I saw it yesterday, and I'm sure she looked at it too. I looked at it yesterday. It was it was a few pages.
I'm sure somebody must have screenshotted that PDF or downloaded the PDF because that's
definitely
insane.
It's on the internet. Like fuck y'all. It's on.
I know, like they think it's just gone. You know, woo! Nothing to see here. Oh my god. Wait, is this the right one or is this the second? Yeah, this is the right one. I think.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the company's current acceptable use policy does not mention such activities. The Daily Wire reached out to PayPal for definitions of the added terms, although no response was received in time for publication. Like, this is not like, so, deliberations will be made in the sole discretion of PayPal and may be subject to user to damages, including the removal of $2,500 debited from your PayPal account per offense. So if they were offended by me not going with a mainstream media narrative, they thought, okay, yeah, we'll just put this in here and make it where $2,500 could be debited for Lucky. You know, it's fine. I don't even have that kind of money in the bank. So the company's user agreement contains a provision in which the account holders acknowledge that the figure is presently a reasonable minimum estimate of PayPal's actual damages due to the administrative cost of tracking violations and damage to the company's reputation. We're going to damage their reputation. They're worried about their reputation.
Do you think that page would open?
Huh?
Do you think that page would open, the user agreement? Or will it be the same thing?
That one probably is.
I don't know if they get rid of that one. I think that's, etched in stone, whatever they think.
Yeah, no, that's there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can go to that after.
They've been censoring before like this, they're making you pay for the censorship now.
Yeah, they're like, if we have to censor you, you're paying a fine. So under existing law, PayPal has the ability as a private company to implement this type of viewpoint discriminatory policy.
Viewpoint? That's funny.
Viewpoint discriminatory policy. What a freaking way to phrase that. Yeah, I mean, they're like, if we don't like your speech, then we're just gonna fine you. But we won't. But what is that?
As a private company,
we can just come after your money privately.
They say that for everything. Private company.
And I guess at the same time we can decide to not use these private companies, but we're very limited. It's not like we have hundreds to choose from.
And they're all the same fucking tards.
Because Venmo is PayPal. Like, a lot of people don't realize that, but Venmo and PayPal are the same thing.
Bastards.
So Aaron Tur is senior program.
That's the tard I meant. Bastard. Go on.
Senior program.
I'm taking it back and I'm making it bastards.
Okay.
Go on.
Senior program officer at the Foundation for Individual Rights and Expression explained to the Daily Wire whatever motivation PayPal has for establishing these vague new categories of prohibited expression, they will almost certainly have a severe chilling effect on the user's speech, as is often the case with ill-defined and viewpoint discriminatory speech codes. What? Those with unpopular or minority viewpoints will likely bear the brunt of these reactions or restrictions. Yeah, because, okay, think about it. Washing your hands used to be like this whole like extremist behavior. That wasn't the consensus when it first came out. Smoking cigarettes when you were pregnant, that was a normal thing. Like, so do you think the first people that came out and said that, do you think that their speech would have been restricted? In these times, for sure. They probably called them quacks, the people that did that. That's what they do. They go after people and they just discredit them.
Mouse said, "Say something, pay something, bitch."
Oh my god.
Yep.
So the move
making people more poor, like that's going to help everyone.
Exactly.
Exactly. They're like, we're just gonna,
make everybody be as poor as possible and make sure the people who are not poor have access to their money. As long as they say what we say.
Well, I mean, think about what they did to the truckers,
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking about.
So the move comes days after PayPal canceled 3 accounts linked to Toby Young, a commentator who runs a nonprofit called Free Speech Union. The organization has defended clients such as actor-comedian Russell Brand, who recently moved his show from YouTube to Rumble in reaction to censorship from the former platform.
And now Rumble's owned by certain people who are not the greatest.
Yeah, Rumble. Yeah, I know. And we still use Rumble just like we still use YouTube, and we still use these things. It doesn't mean we agree with their policies. It just means that we are very limited right now. We can
coexist. How about that? We're normal individuals who can coexist in society with people. Amazing. You think PayPal would get on board, but no.
I know. Like, I don't, my
remember that line, coexist? Like there was like a whole fucking phrase, like coexist, and it was like on bumper stickers and shit. That
was like about religion. Right? That was about religion coexisting. Like we can all have our different beliefs and we can exist together at the same time. And that can happen.
Just a bumper sticker for Christians. It's legit.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, it was for everybody.
No, I'm just saying, like, let's make it a thing for everyone. Like, let's be inclusive with the coexist phrase, please.
Yep. So roughly 1/3 of Free Speech Union members rely on PayPal to process their membership dues, although the company gave no explanation to Young for the suspension beyond mentioning a breach of the acceptable use policy. PayPal later restored the accounts after receiving criticism from lawmakers and apologized to Young for any inconvenience caused. And that was according to the Telegraph. So platforms such as Amazon, Twitter, and Facebook have formally censored conservatives and others who subscribe to heterodox positions or controversial social issues, including transgenderism and homosexuality.
Are there homodox positions I don't know about? I've never heard of heterodox.
I don't know.
I'm gonna write that one down. Vocabulary now.
So GoFundMe sees millions in funds raised for trucker protests in Canada. Yep, like we've just mentioned earlier this year. Well, Google recently began suppressing each search results for crisis pregnancy centers. So, you know, like when we're talking about Julian Assange being free and that we are all at risk, they are coming for us. They literally are coming for everybody. And this is just a prime example of it. So these kinds of policies are unwise, threaten free speech, and invite illegal risk. When companies apply policies to restrict the religious speech of their customers, they run afoul of prohibition. Oh my gosh. Prohibitions on religious discrimination that exists in many state and federal laws. So PayPal also sanctioned Gays Against Groomers, a group that opposes the sexualization of children. Imagine that. They're like against children being over-sexualized.
And gay people, apparently.
Yeah. Like they are already a minority. You know, and yeah, they're Gays Against Groomers got sanctioned by PayPal.
Not very inclusive of them at all.
Oh. The company featured a rainbow-colored banner on their social media platforms during the month of June, though. You know,
that makes up for it.
So that's the article. And I'm going to copy this and I'm going to put it I'll put it in our show notes. And so that is the first article. And let's see, we can pull up the user agreement so we can look at that real quick. And then we can go to the next day where they,
oh, you're putting it in.
They changed it.
Oh, yes, there it is.
Yep.
Thank you. Very good.
Yeah.
Not very good, really, because it sucks. But if you read all this shit on all these websites, you'll just see how restricted you are in accessing these.
Yeah, restricted activities. Like, what the fuck?
They say it. They don't say it in a sweet way. They say it in a mean way. They're being obvious about how they feel.
So they're saying, in connection with our use of our websites, your PayPal account, the PayPal services, or in the course of your interactions with PayPal, other PayPal customers, or third parties, you must not breach the user agreement. So you can't violate any law, statute, ordinance, or regulation. Like, what? So their examples are those governing financial services, consumer protections, unfair unfair competition, anti-discrimination, or false advertising.
Can you zoom in a little bit so we can see it a little bigger?
I think so.
I speak for the audience with the eye problems.
Is that closer?
No. I'm getting too old for this shit. There it is.
I don't want it to go. Oh, I don't want it to cut it off.
That's good. Yeah. Oh, wait. Yeah. That looks better.
Yeah.
Do we agree in the chat?
I can see it better, even on my phone.
Eye problem people, you like it?
It's much better.
Okay.
It's much better for the old people. I'm speaking on behalf of all the hard to see and hard to read people.
That's what we're doing. Yes, we're speaking on their behalf.
That's right.
No porn. Okay.
So no, you can't sell counterfeit goods. Like I could see, yeah, like fine, whatever. But I don't understand how these guys should be responsible for, like, why am I responsible? Like, why are they lawing me? You know what I mean? Like, are they like the law enforcement now? Like they think like it should just be they're a platform. This is what they do. If I do something that breaks the law, then it should be up for the law to find that out and have an issue with me, not for PayPal to have an issue with me. You know what I mean? Like they shouldn't be able to police me. Not that I want to be able to do things that are against the law, you know, per se, allegedly, or anything like that. But at the same time, I don't feel like they should have the right to tell me that I can't sell counterfeit goods. I mean, it's like double breaking the law. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, you can violate the law. You can break the law by actually, you know, like breaking the law, but you can also break PayPal law. You know what I'm saying? It's like they're doubling up on it. So that you can't act in a manner that is defamatory or trade libelous, threatening or harassing, false, inaccurate, misleading information. Well, define that. Who's going to tell me what's fake, inaccurate, or misleading? So if I
Nice.
And who checks them?
The other fact checkers, they're independent. Don't worry about it. That's what they said in Congress.
You can't send or receive what we reasonably believe is potentially fraudulent funds. How do you know?
But on Twitter, everyone can be a fact checker now. Bird, watch, yay, everybody. We can all be fact checkers. What I've always wanted to do in my entire fucking life is fact check other fucking people.
Well, look at this. Refuse to cooperate. Other people. Yeah. Refuse to cooperate with an investigation or provide confirmation of your identity or any information you provide to us. What the fuck? Attempt to double dip during the course of a dispute by receiving or attempting to receive funds from both PayPal, the seller, the bank, or card issuer in the same transaction. See, now I could see that as being something that they could have as their, you know, use that's related to PayPal directly.
Parodies being challenged in court as well.
Yeah. Control an account that's linked to another account that's engaged in any restricted activities. Conduct your business or use PayPal services in a manner that results or may result in complaints. What? You can't have a complaint.
You better not. You get a fine.
Requests by buyers either filled with us or card issuers to invalidate payments made to you. See, like some of these things actually apply to PayPal, you know, like they're actual PayPal things. Other things, it's well beyond their fucking reach. Fees, fines, penalties, and other liability or losses to PayPal or PayPal customers, third parties to you. What does that even mean? Like, you can't conduct your business.
I'll send it over to the legal team.
See here. Conduct your business or use PayPal services in a manner that may result in. So if it results in fines or fees or liability or losses to PayPal or other PayPal customers, like you can't do that. Like, okay.
Yep. You can't say the word Syria in a PayPal transaction.
Yep. Nope. There are certain words that will get it immediately flagged and banned.
That's very true.
You can't allow it to. You can't have a negative balance, but they can take money from you. Don't forget that. They can do it to you, but you can't do it to them. Provide yourself a cash advance from your credit card or help others do so. Access to PayPal services from a country that's not intended on PayPal's permitted countries list.
Permitted countries.
Yeah. You know, like these are just, you know, like I'll let people, you know, if I'll put the link in there if you guys want to check out the rest of it. But yeah, like you can't threaten employees, agents, or other users. And here's the actions that they can take against you if you violate any of that stuff. They can suspend your account. They can close it or suspend your PayPal account and any linked balance immediately and without penalty to them. Refuse to provide PayPal services to you in the future. Limiting your access to websites, software systems, including any networks and servers that any servers used to provide any of the PayPal services operated by us or on our behalf. Your PayPal account or any PayPal services, including limiting your ability to pay or send money with any of the payment methods linked to your PayPal account. Holding your balance. They can hold your balance. In your balance account, the balance in your business account, or the money waiting to be claimed through your personal account. If you have not if you do not have a balance account linked to your personal account for up to 180 days, if reasonably needed to protect against the risk of liability, or if you have violated our acceptable use policy. The hold may remain in place longer than 180 days, according to court orders, regulatory requirements, or other legal processes. Yeah. They can suspend you. They can charge the high volume dispute fees. Like, basically, they can take legal action against you. Oh, what's this right here? I see $2,500 violation. Okay. If you're a seller and receive funds or transactions that violate the acceptable use policy, then in addition to being subject to the above actions, you will be liable to PayPal for the amount of PayPal's damages caused by the violation of the acceptable use policy. You acknowledge and agree that $2,500 US dollars per violation of the acceptable use policy is presented a reasonable minimum estimate of PayPal's actual damages, including but not limited to internal administrative costs incurred by PayPal to monitor and track violations, damage to PayPal's brand and reputation, and penalties imposed upon PayPal by its business partners, resulting from a user's violation. Considering, I thought this was gone.
I thought the oopsie was gone. They didn't get rid of the oopsie. Awkward.
Oops, that's awkward. Oh, we left
That's
it in the memo.
oopsie.
We just went ahead and left it in. We were like, Bob, no, don't put that in the memo, and then Bob did, and we were just like, whatever, leave it in there. Why not?
You saw it here first, guys. It's not gone. It was a mistake.
It was,
and yet they have not deleted it yet.
This is on the PayPal site right now.
Oh boy!
I'm glad we found it. I'm glad we went to the source. See, guys, go to the source. You will find all kinds of good stuff when you go to the source.
That's so funny.
This is fucking insane.
It's an oopsie that they didn't.
It's still here.
Yeah, because
and they're going to go back to it eventually. They just need to let everybody forget about it for a minute.
We left it
They're like, psych.
Psych again, bitches.
Psych. We'll pretend like we removed it, but we're going to leave it in our PayPal policy. This is PayPal. Like, this is PayPal.com. Like, this is not this isn't the Daily Wire's article.
I'm gonna call them. I'm gonna get a fucking and what do you call it? It's a comment. I'm gonna get a comment on this because they're gonna ignore my call just like they did in Daily Wire. But still, maybe they won't. I'm independent, so maybe not. But
just tell them you work
we'll
at
see.
The Fearlessly Authentic Network.
Yeah, Fearlessly Authentic Network is calling you. Maybe not. They'll be like, nuke. We're gonna nuke them now. This is nuts. I can't believe this is still fucking here.
I'll call for the Super Awkward Fun Cast. They won't know what the fuck that is.
I was like, what? Including but not limited to internal and administrative costs incurred by PayPal to monitor. Yeah, this is it right here.
I
You
guess
might want to
my
take a screenshot.
My my tweet about our show tonight was very accurate, as it turns out, because I said it wasn't an actual oopsie in my description of this episode that we were going to talk about the PayPal censorship and the oopsie that wasn't a real oopsie. Yeah, it wasn't, because it's still fucking there. So
I wonder if anyone else is going to catch this.
That's crazy.
No, they're all talking about Ukraine, I'm sure.
Yeah, everybody's on to something else now. They're like, oh, I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, from what I saw from the other article, it looked like people like they've gotten a lot of backlash of this, but you know, they say in the second article that they reversed this. So this is interesting. We'll have to see what that article says. Did the Daily Wire like miss this when they wrote the second article?
Huh.
Yes, they probably just accepted what they said and didn't do their due diligence. Probably. I'm saying probably, allegedly, whatever.
We'll find out.
And then now here we are doing a fact check on Daily Wire.
I mean, this isn't really hard to. This is basics. This is basics.
This is journalism. This is going to the source. It's pretty simple.
Live. We just do it live.
Do it live. I told you I wanted to see where everything was and see if it was still there. So they hid it on their own website. That's super
because it
strange.
wasn't on the PDF. We saw that.
So the PDF is gone, but this actual legit ass user agreement
this is on PayPal's PayPal.com.
Couldn't be more obvious that this is the actual source.
Holy shit.
Okay, we have
now,
something to say to you, Daily Wire. Why don't you give us a call?
I know, right?
Check out the email, Gmail, and get to us. Give us some credit.
What do you guys think in the chat about this?
Yeah.
This is crazy. They are not like.
I'll put it in. Give it to me in the private chat. It's in the private chat, right? And then I'll get it. Yeah. The user agreement. And then I'll put it in.
I took a screenshot. I mean, it's on video, obviously, and I took a screenshot of it on my phone. Of us showing it because I'm like, wait a minute here. What's happening?
It has been requested and it will come at you right now live on the show. There you go. Enjoy.
Yeah.
That's the name.
And then so let's see what the second Daily Wire article shows then. Now I'm really curious to find out, you know, like what's going on here? Did they catch that? Because their headline said PayPal reverses the plan to fine users $2,500 for misinformation after Daily Wire report. And this is October 8th, 2022.
Oh, I think we have a wrench. We have to wrench Emma Louie.
Well, yeah, we got to get Emma Louie's address too.
Oh, yes. I need your address because you won.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying, Alex. It looks like she's doing it now. Do it live.
What am I doing?
Wrenching. You're wrenching live.
Yeah, I just did.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying what you're doing.
Yes.
I'm commenting.
Did it. Okay.
Wrenched.
So, yeah, I already wrenched her.
Yep, she's wrenched.
No, that's what I'm saying. Yay, wrenched.
Oh, okay. So, this is the article. Now, is today the 8th? Or what's today?
Today's the 9th.
9th. So, this is yesterday. I just want to make sure I'm getting this all right. So, it was the day before yesterday that the Daily Wire wrote the other article that we just covered. And this one is from yesterday. And their headline says that PayPal reverses the plan to fine users $2,500 for misinformation after Daily Wire report. Okay. So a red-faced PayPal walked back after a shocking new policy announcement that users who advance misinformation could face fines of $2,500 for offense, saying it was a mistake after the Daily Wire called attention to their chilling scheme. Their chilling scheme is still in effect. We don't know what's happening because their chilling scheme is still in effect. What are you doing? Need this?
Look
What are you
we
doing?
did.
Yes, this is what you need. Why would you tell me no? Oh my God. So the financial services company, which has repeatedly deplatformed organizations and individual commentators for their political views, announced Saturday, one day after Daily Wire's story broke, that the announcement went out in error. Well, it didn't. It's still there. We can toggle right back to it if we need to. And accept. Okay, pages. I know we're very upset about this. What is happening?
He hates censorship.
He does. He's very against censorship. Say we need to free Assange, huh? Okay.
He said, so that's good enough.
Yeah. Okay. It's because Steve left the room, so he's like, wait a minute here. Where's my Papa?
Yes,
Papa,
gamer.
He'll be right back.
Yes,
So the financial services company, which has repeatedly deflatformed organizations and individual commentators for their political views, announced Saturday, one day after the Wire story broke, that the announcement went out in error. Well, it didn't just go out in error; it was published. We just showed that.
Oopsie. Somebody got fired.
Yeah. An accepted use policy notice recently went out in error that included incorrect information. A PayPal spokesperson said PayPal is not fining people for misinformation, and its language was never intended to be inserted into our policy. We're sorry for the confusion this has caused. Wait a minute.
I'm still confused, though.
They're just like, we didn't mean to release that. Like, that's like our internal document. Like, this is what we do. So this is a tweet that's in the article from Candace Owens, and she says, just moved all money I had in my PayPal account out of it. I very much suggest you do the same. This is serious. They are delaying the transfer pending review for 12 hours, but at least it's done. PayPal is dead. What?
Well, it's been dead, though, babe. Babe, it's been dead. It's been dead for so long.
Well, why did she have to cover up how much money she had in there? Why did she cover that up?
None of our business. None of our business.
But the other part is.
Yeah, everything else is important. The virtue signaling is important. That's all that matters.
The original announcement said PayPal would expand its existing list of prohibited activities on November 3rd. I wonder what it said before. You know, like, when did that exactly change? I don't go back and, like, look at, you know what I mean? Like, PayPal in particular, like, their user. Like, I don't have it memorized, you know? The original announcement said PayPal would expand its existing list of prohibited activities on November 3rd. Among the charges were changes. Oh my God.
Nobody's charged yet. Oh, God.
Among the changes were provisions of using the platform for sending, posting, or publication of any messages, content, or materials that promote misinformation or present a risk to user safety or well-being. Users were also barred under the policy from the promotion of hate, violence, racial, or other forms of intolerance that is discriminatory.
This is good because I can add to this. You know how I mentioned the send money to family and friends? That's probably connected to this because they wanted you to have transactions on their website. And the only way that they could ensure that they could have these censorship rules and everything and know all your business and shit is so you wouldn't even have that as an option of sending money to family or friends, which is not an option, I will say, for me and for my roommate. I can't speak for everyone else in the fucking world, but they don't even give you that option. And that's on purpose because they want to know what's going on with you. They want to have an invoice.
They tax us on the money that we earn, when we spend it, when we send it to other people. Like, this is insane.
This is credit scores. This is social credit score systems. This is how it's implemented. Slowly but surely. Don't call me Shirley.
So before posting its initial story, the Daily Wire reached out to PayPal for definitions of the added terms, but received no response. I wonder how long of a period they gave them. You know what I mean? Like, how long did they give them before they responded back? The report sparked outrage online, with many people tweeting pledges to dump the online payment facilitator. Particularly chilling was the fact that the policy said determinations of what could be deemed misinformation or a threat to the well-being of other users was to be at the sole discretion of PayPal. The now aborted policy said users could be liable for damages, including the removal of $2,500 debited directly from their PayPal account per offense. But we just showed, wait a minute, pretty sure that we just showed that they still have that $2,500 in there.
Yeah, I have it right here still.
If
you are a seller and receive funds for transactions that violate the acceptable use policy, then in addition to being subject to the above actions, you will be liable to PayPal for the amount of PayPal's damages caused by your violation of the acceptable use policy. You acknowledge and agree that $2,500 US dollars per violation of the acceptable use policy is presently a reasonable minimum estimate of PayPal's actual damages, including but not limited to internal administrative costs incurred by PayPal to monitor and track violations, damage to PayPal's brand and reputation, and penalties imposed upon PayPal by its business partners resulting from a user's violation. Considering all currently existing circumstances, including the relationship of the sum to the range of harm to PayPal that reasonably could be anticipated, because due to the nature of the violations of the acceptable use policy, actual damages would be impractical or extremely difficult to calculate. PayPal may deduct such damages directly from an existing balance in any PayPal account you control. If we close your PayPal account or terminate your use of the PayPal services for any reason, we'll just provide you with notice of our actions and make any unrestricted funds held in the balance of your balance account linked to your personal account or in the balance of your business account, or any money waiting to be claimed through your personal account if you do not have a balance account linked to your personal account available for withdrawal. You are responsible for all reversals, chargebacks, claims, fees, fines, penalties, and other liability incurred by PayPal, any PayPal customer, or a third party caused by or arising out of your breach of this agreement and or your use of the PayPal services. So it says in there, it doesn't even say the debit card thing. It says directly from any existing balance in any PayPal account you control. So they did change the wording. Sure. It is different.
Not not the way that the Daily Wire is making it sound like. And they're making it sound like, oh no, they didn't mean to do that at all. But they never intended it. They don't do that. But they do. It's under their policy right now. Oh, man. So they go on to say, under existing law, PayPal has the ability as a private company, of course, to implement this type of viewpoint discriminatory policy. Aaron Tur, a senior program officer at the Foundation of Individual Rights and Expression, told the Daily Wire, whatever motivation PayPal has for establishing these vague new categories of prohibited expression, they almost certainly have a severe chilling effect on the user speech, as often the case with ill-defined and viewpoint discriminatory speech codes. Basically censorship. How viewpoint discriminatory speech codes, what the fuck? Those with unpopular or minority viewpoints will likely bear the brunt of these restrictions. The announcement and reversal comes days after PayPal canceled 3 accounts linked to Toby Young, a commentator who runs a nonprofit. We talked about this in the first one too. So they are repeating this in the second article.
Yeah, it seems like a retread. The rest.
But
Yeah. It was the same. We
Yeah.
can't. We don't need to go through that again. We already read it. You get the point, guys.
Yeah, they just said whatever PayPal's intention may be, censorship and chilling free speech is precisely the effect of these kind of vaguely worded policies. Yep, this is exactly. So they took the same first article and they just kind of updated it, but this is not okay.
But we updated it even more. So look at us, breaking news. Breaking news on this and some racism soon. Speaking of the racial stuff. Hey Miguel, good to have you. Weird science.
Just putting this in our notes.
We got a lot of notes, guys.
Yeah. After the show, I always have to take all the links that we provide for the show and I put them together and then I save them, and then Steve usually the next day he goes and he puts all those links into our show notes. He's supposed
You guys are going to be really upset about the next story, but I'm trying. As you should, though. We should all be upset about hypocrisy.
Well, that bothers me because it's like it is. I mean, the Daily Wire, are they just not completely?
Oh, I meant, yeah, okay.
What are they missing on this? Yeah, well, I mean, what? I don't know exactly what wording. I'd have to really look at it side by side and try to examine it. But
no, I literally just looked at it, and it's the debit card thing isn't in there. It's the balance in the account, so they changed that. Breaking news.
They didn't go back on everything. They didn't. They did not go back on the whole thing, the whole user agreement.
We didn't say anything about a debit card. Whatever. We deleted the PDF. Leave us alone. It doesn't exist. Don't worry about it. It's the balance. What are you gonna do?
I mean, I don't. This is nuts. And that was PayPal's their very own. Make sure that you guys check out the user agreements on these cards and things like that. It's a lot of information. It's a lot to read. And they don't give us many choices. It's not like we get a lot of options when it comes to this kind of thing. It's not like, oh yeah, there's just so many options for us to use to transfer money. No, not when PayPal.
Call them tomorrow.
Yeah, and PayPal and Venmo are the same company. And they're related to Facebook and Instagram.
And then there's Cashapp, which is Twitter. So good luck with that. Which Elon will probably eventually. No, he won't. Jack owns it, I think. So formerly Twitter, I should say. But Jack was CIA agent.